Alright. I think this is the earliest I've ever thrown stream up. And I'm playing Diablo 4. Sheesh. Not sure anyone's gonna show up. Oh, I don't have an elixir. That's not good. Thanks anybody coming through right now. I see we got 4 viewers at the moment. 4 people coming through. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Hope you're all having a great day. I need to go back to town real quick and get an elixir, so I'm not throwing XP out the window. Let's see here. Oh, I do have mats to make some already. Sure. Whatever works. Unfortunately, that's the only one I can make right now. What's up, Sphinx? Damn, bro, you got me up at 2:30 a.m. and it's not even Fallout. Oh, god damn. That time difference. At least we have the Skyrim music. True, gotta throw the Skyrim music on. Yeah. I like the Skyrim music when I'm playing Diablo. Yeah, I appreciate you, Sphinx. You're the GOAT, brother. I gotta make some more mats. I need Gallovine. 7 more Gallovine, but not at the expense of... oh wait, no, I was looking at the wrong thing. I don't need Gallovine. I do. I need 5 and then 3 Howler Moss. Ooh, I can't make that though. Or I can, but it requires Gallovine. Oh, I can make some of this. Hold on a second. Stand by. I clearly don't need all this Redamine. It's doing nothing for me. So, now I think we have a bunch of Gallovine. We do. So now we need... oh, we don't need anything. Oh, nice. We can make more of this now. We'll go with one of these because I can make the most of them. Perfect. How long you been playing Diablo? Just in general, or this game today? It's a bit of a broad question. Also, thank you to whoever dropped a like on the stream. I appreciate it. I assume it might have been you, Sphinx. Let's start with the earliest Diablo. Yeah, these little emo things always get in the way of like the end of a message. First Diablo I played was Diablo 2. I, way back in the day, did see like friends play Diablo 1, like at their house, way back when I was like super young, but I never played Diablo 1 myself. I never had it. But Diablo 2 I did get, and I did play a ton of. That is definitely my favorite Diablo in this series. They did Diablo 2 Resurrected, which is like a remaster slash kind of a remake in certain ways of it, and that was really good too. But nothing really beats the original, you know. So Diablo 2 was the first game in the series that I played, and I played it more than any other Diablo since. I played that game for so many years, so much. Of course, lad, first comes, first serve. But yes, Diablo 2 was incredible. I love that game so much. I definitely put thousands of hours into that game, like, over the course of my entire time playing it. And it was also a game that, like, because Resurrected only came out a couple years ago, I believe. And even up to that point, because Diablo 2 obviously is incredibly old. It's like, I don't know, that game is like 2 decades old or something, I think. Something like that, something crazy around there. And despite that, and despite the game not really having much for support, or really any at all, aside from maybe them automatically having the seasons reset, for like ladder is what it was called. Aside from that, like, there was really nothing being updated or changed or fixed or anything for the game. Support was understandably gone. Diablo 3 had already been out and stuff. But yet, Diablo 2 was still a game that I would go back to at least once a year and, like, you know, play through on a couple characters, get to hell, you know, get a couple characters up in the, like, 80s, 90s, and just, you know, get hit with that nostalgia trip from, you know. Yeah, I wish I was aboard the early Diablo train. Oh, it was so good, man. It was so good. I made so many friends back then, had so many good times, like, so many late nights. Not to say I didn't have all of that with other games, you know, like, RuneScape, Halo, Call of Duty, Gears of War, but it definitely was a bit different with Diablo. And the game, of course, was a bit different. It was the first game for me on computer, because I never really got into World of Warcraft, so it was my first, like, main computer game that I played. I mean, I played RuneScape a ton back then, too, but RuneScape, of course, was a browser, like, Java game, like, at its core. That's what it was. You know, you didn't pay for the base game. You didn't download the game locally or anything like that. It wasn't on, like, a CD, which games were back then, of course. So, yeah, Diablo was definitely, like, my first, like, main PC game that I got super sucked into. But RuneScape was right alongside it. But yeah, again, I just kind of categorized that a bit differently, is all. So you never played Diablo 3? Oh, no, I played Diablo 3. I played Diablo 3 a ton. Yeah, I played Diablo 3 literally the day of release. I was up with friends sitting there. The server issues, I don't know if you were trying to get on, like, day one when servers were first going live. It was a complete shit show. It was definitely one of the biggest, like, L releases for them, I think, in terms of, like, having server issues for people to get on. We were waiting so long to get on. And of course, back then, you know, all the server stuff and stability and their expectations and all that was much different than what it would be nowadays, like it was with Diablo 4, and much worse. So yeah, it was rough. But nah, I played Diablo 3 from the time it came out, and I played it quite a lot, yeah. Also, don't know if I said this already, but I seen another person like the stream. Thank you to whoever that was. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I never played Diablo 3 during start and prime of the game, but I know what you mean about server issues that wipes. Yeah, yeah. Yep. I imagine that there was times in which they ran into those again later on. Yep. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun at base game, and there was the auction house when the game first started, which was interesting. It definitely had pros and cons, I'm sure most of which are, like, pretty, you know, like, common sense, like, to be expected, you know. It's like RMT, which I think Blizzard is basically always against, but it was facilitated within the game, so I guess they didn't think it was, like, that bad, like, to start with or whatever. But the auction house did not survive very long, if I remember correctly. I think it was out, like, pretty quickly. But yeah, there was some pretty nutty stuff on there. I think it would have been fine to, like, keep it. Why can't I attack this guy? I think it would have been fine to keep it for just for, like, if you were just spending, like, gold, or if you could, like, trade item for item or something maybe. But yeah, they had, like, an RMT option in there. Like, you could pay, like, with, like, PayPal or, like, with a card or something to, like, buy somebody's item for X amount of money. So I already knew that was gonna go south real quick. You can try to facilitate RMT all you want, but, like, people are gonna always get mad about RMT being a thing. Understandably, I get it, you know. Not to say I'm necessarily against it, or every time, or every scenario, but I definitely get the complaints. Path of Exile, one of my favorites, and every update it's got that. Oh, yeah. I've never played Path of Exile aside from maybe an hour. I played like an hour of it one time, just randomly. I don't even really know why I played it for like an hour. I think it may have been way back when I was still mainly gaming on console, and I didn't really have good upgrades for my PC yet to play games on there yet. And I think it had just came to console, maybe even only in the form of like an early access or beta kind of way. And I was just curious about it because I knew that it was very Diablo-esque. And of course I love Diablo, and you know, it probably had a Diablo game itch around that time too. So I do remember playing it for like an hour or whatever, but that was about it. I mean, I guess I didn't expect to get sucked into it or whatever, especially if it truly was just an early access or beta back then on console. But I was just basically curious to see how the game played and what it was like, and it didn't seem bad. I just never like got sucked into it. I'm sure if I played it like now, for instance, on PC and gave it a real try, it would be a whole different ball game, you know. PC is what I'm used to playing games like that on. So yeah. Plus, I mean, it's the full release of the game. It's much further along. Back then, of course, I mean, this is years and years and years and years ago. So even in its existence on PC, it probably wasn't like super far along. So yeah, with that said, there's so much more to the game now, no doubt, than there was back then. I mean, now we have Path of Exile 2 right around the corner, right? So I mean, that kind of speaks for itself as to how far back we were at that time, or how far ahead we are now. It's definitely better than Diablo. Might not be a popular opinion, but there isn't any downsides to it. Yeah, the main thing that I see people say about it is it's a more, like, complicated or complex. Maybe not complicated is the word. I mean, there definitely is more complicated stuff to it. But I think complex is probably a better word. It's a more complex version of Diablo, a more in-depth version of Diablo, or in certain aspects at least, with, like, your builds and your items and stuff like that. But I think Diablo is, it makes sense for Diablo to be not watered down. I don't like that term because it's like, you know, it's like just a negative term. It's like a pessimistic way to look at it. But I think it's just catered more to the casual player, and it should be, you know, for a series like Diablo, for a company as big as Blizzard is, for a series as big as Diablo is, it makes sense that it would be catered more towards, like, a casual audience in certain ways versus how Path of Exile is. Plus, I mean, Path of Exile already exists, right? So if somebody truly wanted a Diablo-like experience, but with way more complexity to it, as far as I've heard anyway, then they could always just go and try Path of Exile. And I'm sure anyone you go ask, or any place rather you go ask on the internet about that, is like, oh, was there any other games out there like Diablo? You know, especially if you specify that you want more depth to the game or more complexity, you're going to have at least one person, you know, probably way more depending on where you ask, such as Reddit, telling you to, you know, yeah, Path of Exile, go check it out. Imagine not liking the stream, SMH. Shake my head. Nah, it's Gucci, it's Gucci. Where have I not gone? Oh, up there. You know, some people come through and they just, some people, you know, forget that you can like the stream, or they just, you know, they don't want to, or they think it won't make a difference or whatever, which, you know, is a fair argument. It may not, you know, like, I don't really know how exactly the algorithm works with the likes and stuff. I just assume that it, you know, it doesn't hurt, it doesn't take anything to drop a like on the stream, so if it happens to help, then cool. If it doesn't, oh well. You know, but hey, you know what matters is they're here. I would say the main thing that helps is people just being in the stream, you know. If a stream has a larger viewer count, I feel like it attracts more people than anything else. And of course, you can't see how many people have liked the stream before you come into the stream, so yeah. I would say it's probably the viewer count. If somebody sees a stream that has, like, you know, 5 to 10 viewers versus a stream with like 1 to 2 viewers, like, for some people at least, it's gonna make them more inclined to stop by, because they're gonna think that, you know, there's something half decent going on, or there's some activity in chat. Thankfully, I have my man Sphinx here throwing some activity in chat for me, which I appreciate, especially when I know it's mad late for him and I'm not even playing Fallout. This is a good stream time, by the way. Do this more. I might. I wanted to. I mean, honestly, I'll be straight. Like, the main reason I'm hopping on now is has been the fact that I do have the free time at the moment. I guess it does work out in terms of the time. Is because Diablo had this update go live just a little bit ago. I think in the last hour or maybe 2. So I just kind of wanted to hop on towards the start of it. Also, there's an Apex. The new season of Apex starts today as well. And so in the chance that I end up playing that later with some friends, especially if we play ranked, then I would probably do that off stream. And of course, I want to continue streaming every day. So I wanted to make sure that I got a stream out today. Let's see. What's up, FTVG? How you doing, man? I appreciate you stopping by. Also, the stream's got 5 likes now. Seems a couple more people, you know, they gave me mercy. They threw a like on the stream for me after my little spiel about it. Thanks for enduring and dropping one for me. I appreciate that. Watered Down would indicate Diablo came after PoE, but pretty sure Diablo was one of the earliest top-down games. Yeah, Diablo was very, very early on. Absolutely. It was like, we're talking like early 1990s maybe, I think, for the first one. Is that correct? Or is it before that? Was it 1980s for the first one? Like late 1980s? Let me check. Oh, actually, I might get nuked in the process. Maybe I shouldn't check right now. I think that's a quest item. Let's see. Diablo 1 release date. 1996. Okay, so not 80s. That's way too early. Okay, so 1996 for Diablo 1, which probably puts Diablo 2 at like early 2000s. Yeah, literally 2000. Yeah, so Diablo 2 came out 23 years ago, a little over 23 years ago, because it released at the end of June, and then Diablo 1 released in, what did I say, 1996? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. What's up, Viper? No Fallout today. Maybe Fallout later, but Diablo 4 is another main game that I play, and a big update came out today for it, buffing like all the classes and making a good amount of changes. So I just wanted to hop on and try the update out, you know, see some of the changes. And also, it's been, I don't know, it's been like around a week almost since I last streamed Diablo 4. That's what I was mainly streaming when I started a couple weeks ago. So I just wanted to hop on and play a little bit of this. Following the update releasing, but I might still hop on later and play some Fallout 76. Definitely possible. Let's see. I know I missed a couple of messages here. I agree. Just make sure you stream 6 hours from now if you're if you're playing Fallout 76. It would probably be later on. It probably would be later on. Or like around that amount of hours. Skyrim stream when? I definitely want to do a Skyrim stream or a couple Skyrim streams. Because I haven't played Skyrim in a good amount of time. And I definitely have an itch for Skyrim still. Can't really put a specific time on it, unfortunately. You know, could be in the coming days. Could be a week out. I would say definitely before Starfield releases though. I don't want to push that off until after Starfield, because I already know if I do push it off until after Starfield, who knows when I would play it. Especially if I get super into Starfield. So yeah, definitely before Starfield. But I can't really say when for sure. I mean, I am quite enjoying Fallout 76 as well for the moment too, so it's tough because I don't want to bounce around games too much. What's up, Fork? Sadness? Why do you have sadness, Fork? Stick around, guys. Let the man cook. Nah, people are good. I know there's people that, you know... I mean, my Fallout 76 streams, like, clear as day, did much better than my other streams before it, like playing Diablo 4. But I definitely understand. I mean, my channel for a long time now has been a mainly Fallout-related channel. Or at least Bethesda games, so... I definitely understand not as many people being interested in Diablo 4 when I stream, or anything else for that matter, aside from Fallout, or if I did, you know, maybe Skyrim or something like that. I get it. It's all good. Just comes with the territory, you know, essentially. If you do end up playing Skyrim, they gotta expand their horizons more. If you do end up playing Skyrim, they gotta expand their horizons more. Unpopular opinion problem. I guess I don't know what you mean. It seems like those messages are supposed to be connected, but I'm not sure. And by expanding their horizons, I assume you're referring to, like, what, the next Elder Scrolls game? But of course, you know, feel free to clarify. You go up this way. Yeah, because if you mean like the next Elder Scrolls game in general, they need to expand their horizons. I mean, anything that might be an unpopular opinion, if you have like a good argument for it, then you know, maybe you can make it a not so unpopular opinion. No, check my message above the Skyrim one. They expanded on Horizons. The expanded on Horizons was on people not wanting to watch streamer. Oh, got you. Okay. Yeah, stick around, let the man cook if you do end up playing Skyrim. Yeah, they gotta expand the Horizons more. I understood. Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense to me. Yeah, I couldn't really easily connect those messages together. My brain decided to not be on par with the average. So, appreciate the explanation. How you doing today, Fork? And why do you have sadness, my friend? I never got explained about the sadness. But now I feel you. I mean, people like what they like, you know. I definitely have certain stuff that I won't watch just because it doesn't interest me. And I was also going to say before anyway that I definitely have streamers who I mainly have watched for a certain game, and then when they hop on something completely different, it may depend just how different it is and just how not in my wheelhouse it is. But I certainly have had many times where I've watched a streamer for mainly a certain game, and then when they go and play something else, I'm just not like nearly as interested, and I do honestly just hop to somebody else. Again, though, it depends on what game they're playing. If they're playing something that's like kind of close to it, then, you know, maybe I'll stick around and watch for a bit still, or sometimes. It just sort of depends. But yeah, like if I was watching somebody, like, this is just me personally, if I was watching somebody like mainly for Fallout, right, and then they went and played something like Skyrim, then I definitely could still keep watching. And then, I don't know, I guess I like what I like too, so if somebody like who usually played Fallout or whatever hopped over and played Borderlands, for instance, aside from maybe Wonderlands, I could continue to watch them play something like that as well. It just varies, you know, everybody likes what they like. So if somebody is super into Fallout but they're not at all into Diablo, and they're not having my stream up on the side as something to just like listen to or just fill the silence with while they do whatever they're doing, then I can understand them wanting to hop elsewhere. I feel like I have a decent variety of stuff that I watch or enjoy watching, but it's like kind of all over the place too. And I also feel like a big part of that for me is because a lot of it is like speedrunning stuff. I like watching speedruns, and I'll watch a whole plethora of different speedruns as far as like the games go. I can watch like retro stuff, I can watch like, you know, current day stuff, random ass games, you know. But then if I'm gonna sit there and like really like zone in on somebody playing a certain game, then it would likely have to be a game that I'm also really into, you know, Diablo for instance, or if I was gonna watch somebody play, like I mentioned, like Fallout or Borderlands or whatever, or if I was gonna watch somebody play like a multiplayer game, like a shooter or something like that, like Apex. I love watching Apex streams, like pros or just top players. Wait, does my message on the Skyrim mod list not show up? I don't see a message about the Skyrim mod list, no. I see your messages go from that you agree, just make sure you stream 6 hours from now if you're playing Fallout, the XD face, and then stick around guys, let the man cook. If you do end up play Skyrim, they gotta expand their horizons more, unpopular opinion prob. And then of course your message explaining to me what I didn't understand. So no, I don't see it. It was a response to the no Fallout Today comment. Ah, gotcha. I thought it might be, but I guess I was hoping it wasn't, because I don't want you to be sad, man. Yeah, I might hop on Fallout later on still. I am actually enjoying my time on Fallout, and I think I'm level 21 now. We were in West Tech for a while yesterday, and the enemies just kept respawning. Every time we went up and down the elevator, from like the main building to like the FEV lab or whatever it's called, down below in the base. Oh, excuse me, down below in the basement, enemies just kept respawning like up top, and then I'd go back down and they'd respawn down bottom. So we got like 2 levels there. We got around 2 levels there, which got me to like 21 and then some. So I can use combat rifles now, which is nice. Also hitting level 20 made it so I could unlock the next set of rifleman cards, which was nice. So I can start getting more damage for non-automatic rifles. So of course I took that. And am I at 21? I'm either 20 or 21. Yeah, but all the stuff I just said is the case still. I did not put a combat rifle on yet though. I am back in my camp, and I basically set my character up to be ready for when I play again next, but I did not actually make a combat rifle, so I still need to do that. I think I actually have the plan for it somehow already, which is super nice if so, because otherwise I don't have a combat rifle to use, and using only the hunting rifle is getting kind of rough. There's a mod list for Skyrim Anniversary Edition called Norvis. Definitely should check it out in a bit. Oh, okay. I got you. Well, that time it came through, if that's what you mentioned before. I don't know why it wouldn't have gone through before. I have to watch TV with the wife. I'll see you later, Dad. Hey, appreciate you stopping by, Fork. Have a good one. You know what I just realized as well, by the way? I went through the effort to get elixirs earlier before I started this dungeon, and I never popped it. So all this XP has been without the boost, which is great. I mean, it's just a 5% XP boost, but I mean, it adds up, right? Also, is there an option to have the messages you see pop up underneath donations? It'll help roll the conversations with your chat easier and less delay. An option to have the messages you see pop up underneath donations. I'm trying to envision what exactly you mean. An option to have the messages you see pop up underneath donations. Oh, you mean, do you mean on the stream? So we can see what you see and not spam the chat. Are you talking about, like, to have it show on the stream? Or are you talking about just in general for, like, the chat itself? Yeah, on the stream. Oh. Yeah, to have the chat show on the stream. I mean, I'm sure you stream, well, maybe you haven't. I feel like it's a pretty common thing, depending on the streamer, I guess. But, yeah, there's definitely ways to make it so, like, for instance, under where it shows the donations or whatever, under where it shows, you know, there's the top all-time dono, top monthly dono, and then there's, like, the 4 most recent donos shown there on the stream in the top left corner. On the actual stream itself, if I wanted to show, like a box with X amount of the last messages from chat, if I wanted to have something show like that, then yeah, I could, like a little message box type thing. That's definitely a thing. Yeah, I've seen a lot of streamers have that type of thing before, depending on what they're doing, like what kind of game they're playing, or if they're doing like just sort of a just chatting kind of thing, or if they're just a larger streamer, I guess. Yeah, that's definitely something that is possible. And you said it was so we can see what you see and not spam the chat. I don't really think anyone's, I don't think anyone's really spamming the chat, though. But I guess I understand, like, what you mean, or I think I understand what you mean. I've definitely already considered that, as well as a few other things previously to have on the stream as well. For me, it's kind of just like a trial and error kind of thing, or maybe not even a trial and error. That might not be a good way to put it, but it's kind of just like testing, like, one thing at a time, or testing something here and there sort of deal. So I can see how I feel about it, how viewers feel about it, all that kind of stuff. It's up to you, lad, but it's good for the chat to know what messages you can see. Like, for instance, that message that didn't pop up of mine. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that message, if it didn't pop up for me, it didn't pop up for anybody. But of course, if I'm the person who sent that message, and granted, I don't even know why it wouldn't have came through in the first place, if it looks like it did come through on your end, like it's not red, or it didn't give you an error, or have some sort of symbol next to it. If I can't see it, then the rest of chat can't see it. But still, if I'm the person sending that message and it looks like it went through to me, I'm going to assume that it went through to everybody, obviously. And so, yeah, it's kind of annoying if it doesn't go through and then you're under the impression it did and it causes a bit of confusion or whatever. Yeah, I can definitely see how it would be good for a scenario like that. If I did implement that onto the stream, then I would just have to do some messing around with it on my local end first to basically see what I thought looked good for it, because of course I don't want this stream to be like bombarded with all these different things. You know, I've gone to streams before and they have like an overlay, they have like the donation type stuff I have in the corner, they have a little box with like, you know, X amount of chat messages, they have like sponsors shown on the stream, or partnerships, you know, names shown on the stream, they have like, you know, Twitter, Facebook, you know, Instagram, all their kind of stuff somewhere on there. They have a webcam. And then, yeah, so I want it to be like a nice balance, of course. I don't want the stream to seem too cluttered, because I've gone to streams like that, and every time I've gone to a stream like that, I'm gone. I'm instantly gone. If I go to your stream and like 60% of your stream is not even the game you're playing or the main thing you're doing, and it's covered by all these different things, I'm gone. Like, it's nothing personal. It's just I don't think that looks good, you know. It kind of just deters me from sticking around. I feel like you have all this cluttered stuff. It just looks cluttered. It looks bad. Yeah, I don't know. So that's what I'm afraid of with the more stuff or anything more that I add to my actual stream, what shows on it, is me being worried that it's going to make the stream seem too cluttered. But I could mess with it locally on my end, see how it looks, because I know a lot of people do like having the stream chat show on the stream. I know it's a pretty common thing. I know a lot of people do like it. So it definitely is something I could look at locally and see how I feel about it in a certain spot and of a certain size. And then I could do a couple streams with it, and I could ask you guys what you think as well. And of course, if you guys think it's too big or too small, then I can mess with it on the fly, and we could sort of find a nice middle ground if need be. But I'm sure that there's some sort of spot and a certain size of it that I could probably get in there and have it be okay with, or for at least certain games, you know? Like, especially if it's like a really chill game and there's not anything crazy going on. Like if I'm not playing like a multiplayer game like that's super actiony or whatever, if I'm just sort of chilling on a single player game or whatever and we're vibing, I can see it being especially more for a scenario like that too. But yeah, that'll probably be like a trial and error kind of thing. Just kind of feeling it out. I'm not against the idea. I just need to visually see how it looks on my stream before I can really make a decision on it. But that's on me, you know, that's on me to actually put in the initiative to check it out and stuff. And then see how I feel about it. Ooh, better flurry upgrade on this. I'll put this to the side. Whoops. But thank you for the suggestion, man. I definitely appreciate it. Skills. This is another one too. Both of those we can break down. No. 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 Oh, this is better DPS than what? 27 more DPS. What do I lose though? I lose my core skill damage. I get 27 more DPS, but I lose my 12.5% core skill damage. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. For 27 more DPS, I don't really know if that's a good trade-off. I feel like probably not. But we'll do it, I guess. DPS is sort of king. After all, so... I feel like getting a good amulet is so tough. There's a whole lot of different stuff that can roll on them, though, to be fair, so it's kind of understandable. Yeah, definitely you don't have to have a massive text box, just a small indicator of where the chat is. Yeah. Even if it just showed, like, the last few messages, you know. I know that it wouldn't have to be like a super big one, or it wouldn't have to show like the last 10 messages, for instance, especially if I don't have a chat that's like super active most of the time or half the time or whatever. I know that it could even just show like the last 5, 6, 7 messages, and it would still make it useful for people in the way that you described. And then also would just give people a better idea of what I see, when I see it, and all that good stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason it's such a popular thing that many streamers, both big and small, use, right? So I'd be silly not to at least, like, consider something like that. Okay. Cool, so all that's good. Caged Hearts. I don't think I care about that. And... I don't care about this either. Or actually, maybe I do, but the roll doesn't look that good on it. It's okay. Alright, what's the next dungeon I'm going to? I was up here. I guess I'll go to this one. And then I can go here and talk to this guy that it wants me to anyway. I think I got a hand in that sword that dropped for me. That might be one of those quick and easy side quests where an item drops randomly, you just go give it to a certain person, and then you're done. What's the endgame like for Diablo 4? Endgame is, I would say, mainly Nightmare Dungeons, which is basically where you get these sigils right here of different tiers. This one you can see under the name, it says tier 1. This is like the first one they give you just as sort of an introductory thing to Nightmare Sigils, along with giving you a quest for it, which is right here because I haven't done one yet. So yeah, basically those nightmare sigils can get all the way up to tier 100. Sort of think of them as like rifts in Diablo 3. That's probably the best way and the main way that everybody describes them and compares them. And so yeah, as you do the higher ones, there'll be higher level enemies within them, and you'll get more XP and loot and all that kind of stuff. They did say that they are looking into like other like endgame things, like other like completely different endgame activities, it sounds like, to sort of freshen that up, or to just add other options, but I don't think that they're going to be in for a while. That seems like more of a down the road kind of thing, but they're just wanting to let people know that, hey, this is something that, you know, we're looking into, and this is something we want to do, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's definitely what I'd say the main thing is now for endgame. I guess the other thing too is Hell Tides, which is like every, like, I can't remember how long it is. Every like hour or a couple hours or something like that, the Hell Tide will rise in a certain region of the map, and in that area there'll be higher level enemies. There'll be certain mats that you can only get in that area during those times, and there'll be some other unique like enemies and stuff like that. And there's also a certain item, these blood shard things they can drop from all the enemies, and from also certain like plants and stuff that you click on. And with those, there's chests around the Helltide area during the Helltide that you open with a certain amount of those blood shard mats, and they'll give you like up to 5 legendaries. They'll always give you at least like 5 rare and or legendary items. I think the minimum you can get is maybe 2 legendaries. Maybe it's possible to only get 1, but you can get up to 5. So whenever that occurs, people often are going and doing that as well. Right now, it's not active on the map. You can usually tell because it will be, well, one, the message will pop up saying the Helltide has risen or whatever, but there'll be a section of the map that's like completely red, and so within that you'll be able to see. Is this your first character? No, this is not my first character. This is my 3rd character. I had 2 characters that were eternal characters, meaning they were pre-season. This is my first Season 1 character, though. So yeah, before that season released a few weeks ago, or however long it was, I think it was around a few weeks ago, Season 1 started. Yeah, because that's when I started streaming, like day 1 of the new season. So about 3 weeks ago. Before that time, I had a sorcerer, and I had another rogue. The sorcerer is what I started with. I got sort of bored. I wanted to try something different, and then I started rocking with a rogue. I really enjoyed it. But then the new season came out, so naturally I wasn't going to keep playing a character not in the new season. So I just started up another rogue, so I could sort of pick up where I left off in a sense, and have a lot more time to fully experience what the rogue had to offer. Assuming I get to a point this season, I think the season ends like October, like mid-October maybe. Assuming I get to a point during this season where I want to do a new character, I'll probably do a Necro. I guess I could do another Sorcerer. After the update today, a lot of stuff got buffed with different Sorcerer skills, and so it's a lot more viable with like different builds, whereas before there was only like 2 really viable builds for like late game content. But now there's definitely more than that. So I suppose I might do another Sorcerer if I end up wanting to do another character this season, but I would just do a completely different build. I would go a little bit more off the beaten path, try something completely different, rather than just doing like Ice Shards again, which was super standard and basically everybody did. I think it was mainly Ice Shards and Arc Lash everybody did for their Sorcerers prior to Season 1, because, I mean, you kind of had to. Those were like the hardest hitting ones, and they could actually push you best and most easily through endgame content. But yeah, after the update today, lots of stuff got buffs. Multiple like lightning skills got buffs, multiple fire skills got buffed. I think maybe a couple of the other cold skills got buffed. I think Ice Orb, which is from Diablo 2, that is better now, which would be kind of cool to run just as sort of a nostalgia thing. I guess same with the lightning skills too. Or even the fire skills, because there's Fireball and Firewall from Diablo 2. And then there's like Chain Lightning, which is also from Diablo 2. Yes, at least you've avoided the Shaman character. I stopped playing after I found out I couldn't play a werewolf build. Well, I mean, I assume you're referring to the Druid? Because, I mean, isn't the Druid able to turn into the werewolf? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. And I think he was pretty good, too. I think that's, like, one of the best builds. Or, I mean, I don't know how it is now, but I'm pretty sure that was one of the best builds. I know it was really, really rough early game for Druids and Barbarians, I want to say. And also the Druids kind of required more specific items, including uniques, than most other characters or most other builds. But I do think that, like, if you got, like, up to a certain level and had the right stuff, that, like, Druids were pretty fucking nasty. Or certain builds, anyway. Not all of them. Like Elder Scrolls Online, it is, but he isn't viable. Interesting. I thought that wasn't the case. I could have sworn I've seen, like, werewolf builds, or builds using where you turn into the werewolf and you're just, like, fucking nasty. I'm almost certain. Can you turn into anything else as the Druid? Is it possible I'm thinking of something else? Can he turn into a bear? Am I thinking of that? Maybe I'm thinking of him turning into a bear, not a werewolf. Because if he can turn in... I haven't played a Druid, like I said. I've only seen so much. Mainly just of clips of people annihilating. And one of my buddies ran one too. But I think he did a bear. Am I thinking, is there werewolf and werebear? Because I think if you can turn into a bear as well, then that's probably what I'm thinking of for all the builds. Now that I think about it in my head, I guess everything does look more like a bear. Yeah, the bear. Okay. Yep. Gotcha. That's got to be what it is then. That's definitely got to be what it is. Huh. That kind of sucks, though, that there wasn't anything viable for the werewolf. I wonder if after today's update, which buffed, like, every class in multiple ways, if the werewolf would be more viable. I know that's kind of what they're going for, is they know there's always going to be a meta, right? Like certain builds that sort of hover above the rest. But I do know that they're trying to bring certain things that are especially not good, like that are just very clearly worse, and if you bring it up to somebody, they're never in a million years going to bother running it. That sort of stuff. They want to bring those up and more in line with everything, because of course they want there to be build variety. Who wouldn't, you know? Any developer for a game like this is going to want there to be build variety as much as possible. So yeah, if it was really super bad, I wonder if that's one of the things that got buffed for Druids. But there's always going to be a meta, right? Nothing wrong with it. Bear and the Wolf. What's up, Alexio? Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day, by the way. Thanks for stopping by. It might be more viable, but the bear was meta for its AoEs. Yeah, no, I assume bears, even if werewolf is better now, I can't really imagine the bear not continuing to be meta. I just feel like it's a scenario where just like some of the other builds I mentioned, like ice shards, for instance, on the sorcerer, even after other things being buffed on the sorcerer, I feel like ice shards is still going to be nasty. Like, why wouldn't it be, you know? Just because of how good it was before. It's not like it got nerfed into the ground specifically. It's mainly that, you know, there was nerfs that happened more generally to like classes and not specific skills or anything, or specific builds, and then today kind of brought buffs to a whole bunch of previously less viable stuff. But it's not like that makes ice shards on a sorcerer worse, right? So I'm sure it's the same thing for like the werebear type stuff on a druid. While yes, maybe the werewolf stuff did get buffed as part of today's update, it's not like it's gonna make the bear any less good or less meta. The only way something like that could happen is if something they buffed just got insanely, like, they made it insanely better. Like, they made it so much better than whatever was meta before, such as the bear, that everybody just feels about werewolf the way they used to feel about the werebear. But I don't think that that's anything remotely close to what happened. Nor do I think that's what they're going for. They're just trying to make other less used skills more viable to provide more options to people, so that when someone does go and start a druid and they're looking up builds for it, as most people do, they're not just seeing a whole bunch of the same couple builds or guides for those. Hi there, you having a good day? Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Kind of wish I was doing nightmare dungeons because I'd be getting more XP, but I really need these paragon points from doing the rest of the renown in these last 2 regions. And I still have quite a bit, I think, left. I have Dry Steps done, I have Fractured Peaks done, and then I have Skogsglen done. But Kyrgyzstan I still need, what, 220 more. And then Hawazar, I need, I need a lot for Hawazar, unfortunately. I mean, Kyrgyzstan's not too far off, because dungeons are 40 a pop, and I still have 5 more to go. But, oh man, Hawazar. It's rough. The damn renown grind upon a new season, man. I'll be curious to see if they continue to force people to stick to that. I do have this section I didn't look at, but I'm not too worried about it. Inventory check. I think we're good for another one before we hit town. Okay, so now we only have 4 more dungeons to go. Let's see. We gotta do this one. We gotta do this one. That's 2. This is 3. Where's number 4? Where is number 4 hiding? 1, 2, 3. Huh. Where's the 4th one? Am I blind? This is Dry Steps. This is Dry Steps. This, oh, right here. This is Kyrgyzstan. All the way over here. This one way out. I guess we're going to save that one last because it is kind of far out there. This one's pretty close. I guess we'll go do that one next. And then we have this one and this one, which we'll do those 2 in succession. We'll do this one first, and then after that we'll go here. We'll hit this one. Hopefully not get too full of an inventory, and then we'll just leave this dungeon, and then we'll make our way down to this. And then that will leave us only with this last one for Kyrgyzstan. And then what does that put us at overall? We're at 420 right now. We have 4 more dungeons, so we're going to be just shy, I believe, of getting 600 there. We're going to get like another, what, 160 out of that, which will bring us up to 580. So we're going to be 20 off of getting this unlocked after that, which means we'll have to do 1 side quest. That's not bad. We'll only have to do 1 side quest, and then we'll be good, and we'll have the renown done in Kyrgyzstan. Hell yeah. Not bad at all. Alright, cool. Well, we have a plan. Let's get to it. I really can't wait for all the updates they do with mounts. I just don't understand why we can't go faster with mounts in town. It honestly is like super, I don't know, it's just super weird that you can't use them in town. I don't know if it's got to do with like collision issues or something like that, or potential collision issues that they're worried about, or lag being caused somehow. Not really sure, but it's kind of weird to me that you could literally have a player, depending on what their movement speed is and stuff, especially like a rogue, for instance, they could be moving around in town faster than you can move around in town on your horse. I guess the other thing is they could move vendors and stuff closer together in town. That's been another big complaint from people. So that would, I suppose, fix kind of the issue. I feel like it would just be easier though to leave everything where it is and then just make it so you can ride around town faster on your horse like it should be. But I do know that they're working on some of those things. They didn't really give details into it all, but I do know they are working on some stuff related to mounts, especially with collision issues. Because you can be riding through the open lands or whatever, and then there could be the tiniest little rock in front of you, and your horse will just get stuck on it. And it's actually one of the most annoying things, to be honest. Like, you're just trying to get from point A to point B as fast as possible, and then you get stuck on this smallest little rock you can't even see. Are there different collectible mounts? Yeah, there are. They are all horses, but there are different like versions of them. And some of them you get by just doing, you know, the usual stuff in the game, and you'll just be given them. Some you get from completing certain challenges you have to more go out of your way for, or certain side quests I think will give them to you too. And of course not everybody does side quests, or the ones that may give you a mount. And then there's also certain ones that you can only get from drops in certain ways. Could be a certain boss, could be a certain area of the map, or could be like dungeon related or event related in the game. So, some only come from stuff like that. And oh yeah, some of them you have to buy as well, with just gold in game from like the mount vendor or whatever. And what else? There's the PvP, because there's PvP in the game too, of course. So the mats that you get solely in PvP, there's a vendor in that town or the PvP towns that sell mounts as well. And then of course all that stuff I just said also applies to mount armors and trophies, mount trophies which go on the side of your horse. So yeah, all that stuff I said applies to certain different kinds of mounts, certain different kinds of mount armors that of course go on the mounts and make them look, you know, different, cooler, etc. And then also mount trophies which go on the side of the mounts to give them even more customization. And I'm sure they'll add more customization for that kind of thing in the future. Maybe they'll even add more than just horses. But that's what it is for now. And then obviously, you know, I guess I have to mention that there is all of the ones that you can buy as well with real money. 1 second there, guys. me see here. Is the PvP any good? I think it's pretty fun. I mean, it's not going to be to everybody's liking, you know. But I think it's pretty fun. I mean, this isn't like a game focused around the PvP. You know, you're not getting the game for the PvP or anything. It's sort of just a little added thing in a couple certain areas of the map, which you do not have to go to if you don't want to. You do not have to go through them if you don't want to. Anything like that. I think it's a nice little addition to the game, and I think for what it is, it's not bad. I think it's a nice little, you know, different type of thing from what the rest of the game has to offer and that you're expecting. But it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. PvP in general isn't everybody's cup of tea, and that's totally okay. So, but I will be back in just a minute or two, guys. I'll type in the chat. Be right back in a minute or two. I just have to do something quick. Thank you for being patient. We have returned. Okay. Miss anything? If you stop by, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Thank you, Sphinx. I can't remember if the stream was already at 7 likes before I left, but if somebody else had dropped a like on the stream, thank you. I appreciate that. Sphinx out here doing God's work. And of course, thank you to everybody for being patient. I had to go take care of something quick. Are we on the second part of this dungeon? I'll check in a second. Yeah, I guess we are. Yeah, because I came through a door that I had to unlock. Okay, so that's where we're gonna end up. Yeah, I can't attack that guy. What the hell? I hate when I get in these little spots of like being stuck, like my melee skills won't be usable for whatever reason against enemies. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, sacred. Or sacred, unique. Where'd they go? Oh, over here. Eyes in the dark. Unless it hits a boss or player, Death Trap will continue to rearm itself until it kills an enemy. However, Death Trap's cooldown is increased by 18%. Hey, I think I got a pair of these on my other rogue. I know Death Trap is a build. I think it's a pretty good build, actually. I think it's like a... might be an S tier build. Dodge chance is perfect. Shadow damage is like right in the middle. Damage to elites, a little bit more towards the lower side, in the middle still. Damage to enemies affected by trap skills, almost perfect, which is probably one of the better things from this. Huh. Well, I mean, I don't run Death Trap, I don't run that kind of build, so it's kind of whatever for me. But I'll hold on to it, because it's the first pair that I've gotten, and you never know. Maybe I'll want to try it down the road. Doesn't hurt. Always good to save a unique like that. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? Door has been unsealed. That's got to be the one that's up there. Oh, man. Honestly, I can get rid of both of those. I do know that I don't need either of those. Still only leaves me with one spot in my inventory, but it'll allow us to get up here a little bit further first before we inevitably need to hit town. There we go. Paragon Point, nice. I don't actually know where we're going with this. Over here, I do know. I just don't know if I'm going from here or here. I want to say strength, probably. But I could be incorrect about that. Let me see. Let me see. This is from my second Paragon board. I want to say, yeah, I'm taking the strength. And I'm going over, up, over, down, and up. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. He's dead. Alright, now we're full. Now we are going to have to go back to town. We'll wait until I get another drop. Nope, not doing that event. Nope, nope, nope. Screw that event. Alright, here's where the boss... Wait, it's open. Maybe it's not a boss. That might just be a whole other area. Oh, crap. Hey, let's go. Double elixirs. Speaking of, I gotta pop a new one. That's big. 2 elixirs I do not have to craft. We'll wait until I come back through, because I'm about to go to town. I'm about to go to town first. He's dead. Oh yeah, I can't even pick up that heart, can I? Alright, let's go to town, go through these items quick, come back, and then I think it's just the boss after this. Maybe it just takes me to a new area. I feel like that'd be a bit long of a dungeon though. So I'm assuming that it is where the boss is. Blacksmith, let's see here. Don't expect there to be really anything for upgrades unless I get super lucky. I'm probably sitting on basically what I'm using right now until I get to World Tier 4. Well, maybe not. Maybe once I start doing Nightmare Dungeons, I'll actually get some better stuff because I will get more Sacreds there. Yeah, I'm only 58. I'll probably get a couple more upgrades after I start doing Nightmare Dungeons. I should get a good amount more Sacreds from that and just drops in general. So, it should yield some upgrades. We'll keep those like I said. This is for Twisted Blades. Yeah, all the... Ooh, wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, I can't switch out that with my unique, though. Hell no. This says imbuement, skill cooldown reduction, damage reduction... Oh, hold on. Damage reduction in general, imbuement skill cooldown reduction, damage reduction while injured, and then all stats which I would roll for something else. And 35 more armor. Huh. Ideally, I could roll the all stats and get either damage reduction from close enemies or total armor percentage. That's a possible one that we can keep. It's all going to depend on what we get off of a roll for it, though, I think. If we don't early on get a good roll from it, then I'm just going to end up getting rid of it. Cold Imbuement, Shadow Imbuement, no. Wait, what is the thing for it? Critical strikes with marksman skills. No, I don't use Dark Shroud, so. Can you reroll gear you find? You can reroll one of the attributes for it. So on this item, for instance, if I want to keep everything on this item except for the plus 13 to all stats, which is the case, I can go and I can pay gold to reroll the plus 13 all stats. And I'll actually go do that real quick in just a second because I'm curious to know what I'll get. The only thing is every time you roll it, it costs more. And sometimes substantially, or eventually substantial amounts more than when you first start. Okay, this is maybe okay. This is 14.9 all res, 9.5 marksman damage, which is for my puncture. I prefer if it was for cutthroat. 2.9 damage reduction, which isn't the best, but it is still something. 9.5 energy cost reduction, and then 9% damage with dual wielded weapons. So if I could, I lose my +1 rank to all imbuement skills, but I could re-roll. What I'd re-roll here is my plus 9.5 marksman skill damage, and maybe I could get either movement speed or I could get like a +2 to all imbuement skills, possibly. So we'll go roll both of those actually. And hopefully one of them will get something we want in like the first roll or two. I mean, I don't even know how many rolls I'll do because I only have so much gold and this shit gets expensive. So you come over here to enchant the item. You choose the item you want. You choose the stat that you want to essentially roll, and then they'll give you the cost down here. The first time that you do it, the cost isn't that much. Bear in mind, 52k gold, not bad. Let's roll it. Doesn't get anything that we care about, right? 33 strength, 1 potion capacity. We'll do no change. Now, though, it basically fucking 5x'd, or 6x'd even, I think. Because now it costs 261k from 52k. I'll do it one more time. Damage reduction from enemies that are poisoned. Dodge chance against close enemies. I mean, they're both not great. Dodge chance is okay. Damage reduction from enemies that are poisoned is okay. That's more of like a single target boss kind of thing. Dodge chance would come into play more so for like more enemies in total. So I guess we can take that, but that's not what we want, right? 313k, not a huge difference from 260, but it still gets up there. So this one, though, it's legendary versus rare, so it is going to cost a little bit more to start. We're going to roll the marksman skill damage. Also, you can see it costs more mats, too. It costs legendary mats as well. +1 rank to all imbuement skills, which we do have on our current amulet. So that will give it the same rank of imbuement skills. It will also give it better energy cost reduction, just by a little bit. And then I will lose 10 movement speed, though, unfortunately, if I do switch over. But we will do that for now. We will do that for now. Yeah, the cost jump is so high. That's why I love Diablo 3. Yeah, the cost jump in Diablo 4 is fucking nuts. Like, look at that. It was what? It was like 130k the first time, and now it's 654k, which for me, I only have 1.9 mil gold. And mind you, all these dungeon runs and everything I'm doing, I'm breaking stuff down for mats rather than selling. I probably should start selling to get gold built up. But yeah, like to go from 130k jumping to 654k, it's just, it makes no sense to me. It just makes 0 sense to me. It's too much. I mean, I've seen people with certain items that like are near perfect items, and so obviously they're going to stick with them and roll them until they basically make it perfect with the last stat they need. And they've gotten the item up to like costing 100 mil to roll. It's actually nutty. So we have a few items here already that I think I wanted to look at some point, so we'll throw those in there as well. I'll put the unique down there because it'll let me know that I don't need it. Let's see here. So this is 73, 5.5. Okay, so this is definitely better than this one. I mean, I would argue it's better than this one too, honestly. It's 4% less draining effects, but it is 1% more increased resource generation, which is definitely the more important of the two. So we can just ditch that. I don't care about breaking it down. I think they were going for the IRL feel with the cost jumps plus realism perk. It's absolutely insane, bro. It is way too fucking much. We'll have to compare that to my other ones after, because that is the one that one of the ones I want to look at to potentially keep. But yeah, it is just, it's way too high, man. The initial jump is way too high. And then it just kind of gradually gets higher and higher and higher, like up into the millions and millions. Yeah, it's crazy. Another glyph. Nice. I don't think that's a glyph I need, but It's always nice to get another glyph out of the way. Especially if you do have another one that you need remaining, because, I mean, you can't get repeats of glyphs, so if you end up getting one glyph that you don't need, while it may not be good in the moment, it does technically mean you're closer to getting the glyphs that you do need. So that's nice. It's kind of the way to look at it. Sort of like the glass half full way of looking at it, you know. So now we have these two dungeons down here. See, this is stupid. This right here, this is dumb. I should not be stopped, like, I should not be forced to get off my horse to get off and break this bone wall down and kill a couple of basic archers. Like, this is so dumb. Nobody wants this. And I think they did say that they are either looking into getting rid of these or making it so you have a way to, like, just bust through them with your horse. Like, this is just silly. Like, who wants to have to get off their horse to do that? And then there's also, mind you, there's a delay to get back on your horse after you've gotten off. So even if it only takes you like a second to kill those enemies when you jump off your horse, you have to wait for the cooldown to be over to get back on your horse anyway. And of course, I say everything I did, and then I just get bone walled in by a whole different set of enemies. But yeah, it's so dumb. It just takes you, I don't know, it just takes you out of everything. Also, when you get knocked off your horse from like too much damage or whatever, the cooldown for that is also way too long. It's like 30 seconds or something. It's kind of silly. And I feel like most of the time that people do get knocked off their horse, it's because like they're getting collision issues, getting stuck on something, and so it makes it like, so they just take more damage in the process. You reckon you'd slap early endgame bosses like you're slapping these ones you're versing now? I mean, these are essentially the same bosses that I would be killing in the Nightmare Dungeons. It would ultimately just depend on what tier of the Nightmare Dungeon I was doing. Because the higher the tier you do, the higher level of the enemies, and the more or better modifiers they could have, I suppose. Things of that nature. Plus, when you do Nightmare Dungeons, there's modifiers to the actual dungeon itself. Some, or most honestly, that will debuff you in some way, or make the dungeon harder for you. And then you'll have also a couple that are positives to you, or potential positives, I guess, depending on your build and what kind of attacking that your character does. Oh look, unique pants again. Same ones. Worse dodge chance, better shadow damage if I remember correctly, perfect damage to elites, oh, really bad damage to enemies affected by trap skills, and 1% better on the unique ability. Huh. I mean, that's funny though. Uniques are pretty rare, so for me to already get another one is quite something. What the fuck's going on here? But yeah, so it would completely depend on what tier dungeon I was doing. I don't actually know what tier I could do right now, because I haven't done any yet. And off the top of my head, I can't remember what tier equals what level enemies. But also, like I said, it would come down to what modifiers there was on the dungeon. If there was some really, I'm trying to think like what word I'd use for it. I'm just going to say, I guess, really negative modifiers for my build in particular, or for melee, you know, stuff like that, then it can make it a lot harder for me to actually clear the dungeon. I want to say with this update that came out today, they might have removed a couple of the modifiers that people really hated. I think they might have did they get rid of Resource Burn or Cold Enchanted? I think they got rid of one of those two. But they got rid of a couple that just everybody hated and everyone avoided because of how bad it was, just how detrimental it was to the dungeon run. if you got a sigil with one of those modifiers on it, then people would just completely avoid it. Yeah, so you can see, I totally forgot, you can see the modifiers on here. So this, for instance, the positive for me is the Battle Hardened. Gain 5% damage reduction for every 10% health you're missing, so that's one for me. And then the negatives here, and mind you, as you get to the higher tier ones, there's more modifiers than just 3. But then for this one, we have Avenger. Killing a monster enrages monsters near it after a short delay, making them deal more damage. And then monster poison damage. Monsters deal an additional 22% of their physical damage dealt as poison over 5 seconds. So every sigil will have different modifiers like that for the dungeon itself. And then as you do higher tier sigils for higher level nightmare dungeons, and that's the butcher up there, I'm pretty sure, by the way, then what will come with that is more modifiers and harder modifiers, I believe, too. Also, I see somebody else dropped a like on the stream. Thank you very much. Killing the butcher right now is going out to you. GG. Easy peasy. I remember when it wasn't so easy peasy, and he was whooping my ass every time. It's nice to be able to kill him now, though. Okay, we need to go up. We have one enemy remaining. It's literally this guy. Literally the elite or whatever up here. Oh wait, now it says there's 2 remaining. Because he spawned these guys. Well, in any case. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pop an elixir. I really like throwing XP out the window, don't I? I'm a big old XP waster. And then I'll always tell myself, oh, it's only 5% XP though. But then it's like all these times that I'm missing out on that extra 5% XP. Actually, yeah, it adds up. Kinda adds up. Okay, so bring this up here. Put that in one of the slots. Now we have to go get the other one. And here it is. Oh god. Okay. There's this little area over there that I could go to, but I just don't want to run all the way over there, honestly. So I'm not going to. And now we're on to the boss. There we go. So what we'll do now is we'll leave dungeon. What's up, Polsey? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Are you playing Baldur's Gate? I am not playing Baldur's Gate. I have seen a handful of gameplay for Baldur's Gate, but I don't really know if it looks very much for me. I definitely can see the appeal for it in general, but I just don't really know if it's something that I would get super into or that would be, for me personally, worth the money right now. Maybe down the line, like if it's on sale or something, and I'm more in a need for a new game to play, you know, because that's another one of the things too is I'm already enjoying multiple games that I'm playing right now, and Starfield is also right around the corner, so I feel like it would be a bit silly for me to buy a brand new game at the moment, especially something as, you know, in depth as Baldur's Gate seems, based on what I've seen for gameplay and for what people have said about it. I feel like that's the game that I would not want to be really playing too much else while I'm playing that, because I'd be so into it. But I definitely get the appeal for it. I definitely get the intrigue that's there. I was the same about the turn-based gameplay at first, but it's so addictive and the story and narrative is really good, so I really recommend picking it up at any point. Hey, I appreciate the input. Yeah, like I said, it definitely doesn't look bad, and I will be honest in saying the turn-based gameplay is something that you know, definitely plays a factor for me thinking I wouldn't be as into it, but all the customization and the RPG elements and the story and all that does seem super, super good. And all that kind of stuff I definitely like and can appreciate. So if I could get past the turn-based gameplay, or maybe I wouldn't even be as bothered with it as I think I would be, which is definitely possible because I've played other turn-based games previously and they've been fine to me, then yeah, maybe I would really enjoy it. Like I said, I think the bigger thing for me, or the more preemptive thing, is that I'm already enjoying multiple other games at the moment, and I have Starfield coming out in like a month, or a little less than a month now. So yeah, I don't think it would be very smart for me to pick up another new game right before that. But down the line, when I am more in need of another game to play, if that's how I'm feeling, then yeah, maybe I'll pick it up if it's like on sale or something. And thank you to whoever dropped a like on the stream. We're at 9 likes now. Appreciate it, appreciate it. How did I just get down here? There we go. Okay. So before, well, let me wait till I get an item drop. I was gonna say before I start the dungeon, I was gonna hit town, but let me just get another item drop first. Might as well just go until I do. Probably won't take long. Or I guess 2 item drops really. Go. All right, there's one. Now once we get another, we can hit town. Because we will not have the space for it. And I assume it will be from killing this guy. Yep. Alright, now I can hit town. Go to town, go through these items in my inventory. See here, junk. Get rid of that. Yep, get rid of that. Wait, what's the thing on it? Yeah. Traps, don't care. Basic skills gain 20% more attack speed. This we can keep and extract the imprint from. Getting weapons are like guaranteed worse. Literally like guaranteed worse. Which kind of sucks. I can't remember if these are better or worse overall than the other ones. I'll have to compare the two. Okay. So I'll go put, or actually, let me go extract the sword, or the imprint off the sword. There we go. And then let me go throw the pants in the stash. I can compare them afterwards. And then for this, $3.04361. I mean, this is 491 damage versus 361. It's a little bit less for the critical strike duration. Or rather, the duration from a critical strike. So we'll swap it. Did you pop in the EXP potion? Just thought I'd remind you for this dungeon. I do have one, yeah. Or yeah, right here I do. I have one popped. Yep. I forgot for a while, unfortunately. I think at least half of the XP I've gotten throughout the stream from these few dungeons, I have not had one popped for, but thankfully I do have one popped at the moment, so we're not losing any more XP than we already have. I should be good for the rest of the time. Appreciate the reminder, appreciate the reminder. I've certainly forgot enough to have it be warranted. Now we gotta go crossed. Just a little bit there. I really should be freezing him first, or chilling him first, rather. I always poison first. I should be chilling first, so they can't even attack back. I'll know what icon to keep an eye out for. Yeah. If you see this little, this, I guess it's a potion. If you see this little vial symbol, then yeah, that will indicate that I do have one popped. Yep. And then you will know. There we go. A little bit more. Looks like there's a shrine, lethal shrine right here. Oh, of course it's cursed. Should have known better. It's all good though. It's the last of our enemies. So now we just do this shrine, and we can make our way to, I don't know if it'll be the boss, or if it'll just be another room, or another section rather. How big is the dungeon been? It might just be another section, honestly. Could be another, or it could just be a boss, but... just in case it is a boss, let's fucking haul ass here. Maybe we can use it on the boss for a second. Oh, no, it's about to be gone. Oh, no, it's another section anyway. It's not even a boss yet. This is the guy we gotta kill. There he goes. He drops the key. Kind of sizable. Go. Let's see here. Where haven't we gone? Top left and like straight up kind of. Go. We can do this event. And it looks like the boss is right here. So a tiny bit of area to clear on the other side. So we'll do that first. And then it's boss time. Oh, there's a guy here. Was that like 9 waves? Almost. Yeah, 9 waves I think it was. 9 or 10. Pretty good. Obols are getting up there. Getting up there towards 1,000. Definitely have to use those once we get a little bit higher up there. That's it actually for that little section. I guess I knew it wasn't going to be a lot. Alright, let's go. Let's go take out the boss. The Night Council. Yeah, I was going to say, is this multiple? It sounds like multiple. Go. Nothing too crazy. I think that leaves us with just one dungeon, right? 22 out of 23, and the last one was this one. So over we go. And then we'll have all the dungeons done in Kyrgyzstan, and then we'll just have to do one side quest, and then that will get us our 4 Paragon points, because we'll complete our renown then. So I think that will be a good spot. Still all good on items for the moment. I'm definitely going to have to hit town again somewhere in this dungeon, though. Also, don't know... I mean, I guess I have plenty of options for a side quest. I don't know which one is going to be quick. I'll probably just take one in the main town. And then just knock it out, whatever it happens to be. None of them should take too long. Oh wait, this is guiding me the wrong way. I forget that that happens sometimes. Sometimes it kind of tells you the wrong way to go. The game doesn't exactly know what the fuck it's talking about. So we have to do a little bit of manual tracking ourselves, which is fine. Yeah, so even if I mark it like this, it's telling me to like go back and around and do a whole bunch of weird shit. Alright, what we got over here though? So, into the dungeon we go. Knock this out, do a side quest, get our Paragon points. Think my elixir should still be active through this dungeon. Yeah, we should be good, we should be good. Helltide's up, we should get another Paragon point from this dungeon as well, so that'll be 5 Paragon points we'll get. Once everything is said and done, and then we'll just be left with Hawazar as the region that we need to finish for Renown and for 4 more Paragon. Gonna leave the stream on, but probably gonna fall asleep. No worries, Sphinx. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. The extra viewer definitely helps, man. I appreciate the time you've spent here and talking and chat and everything. Get some good rest, my man. Get some good rest. Have a good day, lad, just in case. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Have a good rest. Have a good rest. These guys are chasing. Nice, tier 76 of the season battle pass, season pass, whatever. Check that out real quick. Oh, I have 2 tiers I didn't redeem yet. Also, when do I get, I think it's level 60, I get my next thing. Oh, is it 62? Damn. I think it is 62. Already got that one. Yeah, it is 62. Damn, that's further off than I thought. Fudge. That kind of sucks. Suppose I can't expect to get them too quickly though. They're pretty useful, giving you all like the overall buffs for like XP, for instance, or gold, or whatever else there is. Go. On to the next part now. Oh god. I almost died. Paragon point, nice. I think we're going straight over. We're going over, up, over. I think. Pretty sure. Go. We'll go back. We'll cut back this way. Nope, not doing that event. Nope, nope, nope. I'll never do another last stand event. No, I won't. God damn it. Actually, we can go up here real quick. Also, I forgot to mention that the stream has gotten over 100 views. So thank you to everybody. Obviously, you all helped contribute to that. Means a lot. Oh, can I get a couple of procs of this off on the boss? Oh, this is the boss that doesn't show up right away. Actually, I don't even know. I was going to say, I don't know if there is going to be a boss. Might just be the elites, and that's exactly what it was, yep. Okay, so now that we've done all of that, let's go back to town. Find a side quest to do. And then knock that out, hopefully quickly. I mean, it should be quick. Most of the side quests are. We'll just have to find one here to do. Just one down here. And then we'll do that one. Trying to sort of just gauge based on the description what length they might be. So we'll go with this one. Watch this one end up being like on the longer side. Oh, it's inside. Alright. Collect 5 scorpion venom glands. That shouldn't be too bad. Where does it want me to go? Okay. We can do that quick. As long as that's all... Oh, there's 15. Sorry, not 5. Well, even so. As long as that's all there is to it, which it should be, because again, it's just a side quest, then it shouldn't be that bad. kill like 30 scorpions tops, assuming they don't all drop one like I imagine is the case, and then we will be on our way. Seems like I'm getting a 1 for 2 at the moment. Actually seems exactly 1 for 2 right now. Well, there we go. There's 2. Hey, what's up, Bryce? I've never played this game. How are they? Diablo? I love Diablo, man. It's great. Yeah, I can't believe you've never played a Diablo game before. I mean, there's probably lots of people that haven't played a Diablo game before, but just because of how big it is, and also I guess I don't really have much to go off of in terms of you being into this kind of game. But yeah, nah, Diablo's great. Appreciate you stopping by there, brother. Hope you're having a good day. I have 2 more of these scorpion glands to get. And then that should hopefully be the quest. That's the thing, never got into the position, click games to be honest. Ah, okay, that's fair enough. You've always been like into shooters and such, I guess. I mean, I've always been into shooters as well, but then I've also been into like certain games like this, like RuneScape. I've always been into, or old school RuneScape anyway. And then Diablo games, Diablo 2 I love, Diablo 3, Diablo 4 now. I mean, maybe another random click game here and there. ARPG type stuff. I guess not a ton. But I was also mainly a console pleb for the longest time too, so that doesn't exactly help the case. Okay, back to town. Yeah, mainly just PvE stuff with the exception of big names like Skyrim, Fallout, etc. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Definitely always been into that kind of stuff, and like mainly myself as well. Again, the exceptions have just been RuneScape and Diablo, I guess. Yeah, I guess those really are like the main exceptions only for me. Everything else has been like shooters, like PvP stuff, like you said, multiplayer, basically Halo, Gears, Call of Duty, you know, BRs, stuff of that nature. And then I've always been super into like single player games too, though. Mainly like bigger ones, I guess, too. You know, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, Borderlands, all that kind of stuff. I still only have console when you started going live before. I got my PC while watching it. Ah, okay, gotcha. And we now have the renown completed for this whole region, so we get 150k gold, which is kind of whatever, and then we get the 4 Paragon points, which is what's big. 4 Paragon points. 1, 2, 3, 4. If only we had one more, we could fill the glyph socket to drop one of our glyphs in for a decent upgrade. Honestly, a decent little buff. But it's all good. It's all good. That's another region done. We have 4 of them done now. And we're left with just 1, which does need a lot of work. We only have 1 dungeon done, and we need 22 more done. I played Borderlands an unholy amount when it came out. Hell yeah. Like, you mean like the first one? Or you mean just like your first Borderlands game in general? I mean, for me, it was both. I played Borderlands 1 so fucking much. God, I got so sucked into that game. I was like, I'm not sure if I was iffy maybe when I first saw it about like the fact that it was cartoony or whatever. I don't think it threw me off or threw me for a loop as much as it did for a lot of people maybe, or made him as iffy. But I imagine it did make me a bit iffy at least. But nah, I played that game, bro, and it felt so good. It was like, it just, I don't know, but that game was fucking amazing. I loved Borderlands 1. I made one of the legendary cracked sashes that got duped around. Oh yeah. One of the OG creators, we had a Skype thing about creating them and everything. I don't know if I ever told you. If you did, then I'm not registering, like, currently that you did. I don't know. I'm not sure we've ever talked too much about Borderlands. But, yeah, I do definitely remember all of the crazy shit that there was back then. I don't think I had ever really messed around with duping or anything like that. That might have been a little further back than when I started to do stuff like that for those kind of games. Like messing with mod tools and stuff like that. Or maybe it was just one of the games where I didn't want to mess with it on there. I really can't remember. It's just so far back, it's hard to really recall what time frame that was and what all I was doing and such. So we have all of these. I know the dude that made the busted one-shot pistol, so yeah. Also, thank you for 10 likes on the stream, guys. I don't know if the 10th one was you, Bryce, but regardless, you know, appreciate everybody dropping likes on the stream. Means a lot. Oh my, hell yes. Look at all those elixirs. We fucking love that. Wait, that's actually big. What a lucky side quest to do. Out of all the ones that I could have done, what a fucking lucky one to choose. What a lucky one to choose, man. Yeah, Borderlands 1 was so fun, dude. I could definitely see myself going back and playing Borderlands 1 again at some point, like, because I know they have the remaster game. When the remaster came out, I was super hyped too. I played the shit out of that, and I got all the trophies again. The only exception to that was, I think, the Mad Moxie DLC that, like, takes super long, even if you do have modded shit. Just because, like, of how many waves you have to do and for how long, like, waves take no matter what. But everything else I did, and had a great fucking time doing it. It was such a good game. And for how good of a game that is, man, Borderlands 2 is fucking insane. Slay 5,000 snakes. Hog. Yeah, for how good of a game Borderlands 1 is, and I guess part of it is, like, for its time, you know, you do have to kind of look at it that way. Borderlands 2, man, holy moly. Borderlands 2 is just, it, like, took Borderlands 1 and it actually, like, stepped it up in a ton of ways. It kind of did the same sort of step up that New Vegas did from Fallout 3 in a lot of ways. There we go. Hey, what's up, Remix? Do you know the shields I'm talking about? The ones that made you invincible? Fun fact, the OG invincible shield wasn't made for gameplay. It was made for 1v1 boosting. I'm pretty sure I know what you're referring to, yeah. And, oh, man. The little arena for 1v1s back in the day, bro. Jesus. There was even, like, GB matches for that shit and stuff. And people would just use modded items. And, yeah, it would just be so many of those fights with random people online or in GBs or anything would just be such a shit show. Yeah, I'm hoping the next Borderlands game they do is like a big hit. I mean, I don't think Borderlands 3 was bad. I just don't feel like it hit the same as Borderlands 1 did when it first came out, which, to be fair, was the first game, and it was, you know, it was a brand new IP at that point, so it was the first of the series. Naturally, it's going to hit different for that reason, whether we can tell we're looking at it that way or not. Borderlands 2, though, I mean, again, Borderlands 2 was amazing. I feel like that's the main game for, you know, the largest group of people that is their favorite. And yeah, Borderlands 2 was an amazing follow-up. And then pre-sequel was like kind of a shit show. Not really great. And then Borderlands 3 was, you know, Borderlands 3 was solid, I thought. I thought there was a lot of good stuff to Borderlands 3. I just feel like it didn't hit the same for me and a lot of people the way that Borderlands 2 did as a follow-up game in the series. And then Wonderlands that came out like, what, a year ago? A year and a half ago, I think is when it released. Or was it 2? I can't remember. Wonderlands was okay. It wasn't terrible. It was I don't know. I liked it more than pre-sequel at least. I think it was decent. It was a nice different direction change. It just, you know, it obviously wasn't the next, like, main Borderlands game in the series, so you kind of gotta make sure you're not wearing, like, the rose-tinted glasses, so to speak, when you're looking at that game. You gotta keep in mind that it wasn't made by probably as big of a team, or, you know, it obviously wasn't made with being the next big Borderlands game in mind, because that's not what it is. Fuck, dude, these guys won't die. Dude. Dude. Fucking hell, holy shit. Couldn't get out of any of that. Hey, those Fallout 4 mods were fire. If the next gen upgrade actually, if the next gen upgrade's actually better, I'll be super happy. I mean, it's gotta be, right? Like, the next gen upgrade, I mean, it's gonna provide, what, better FPS, better graphics, hopefully some stability type stuff. And then I know they're going to be adding more Creation Club content and mod stuff, I think, some of which is going to be free with the upgrade, I'm pretty sure, which the upgrade itself is going to be free as well. And then some of the mods or Creation Club stuff that comes out alongside it, I believe, is supposed to be free as well. But then there'll no doubt be some paid stuff too, so. Alright, gotta hit town real quick. Yeah, the question is, when the hell are we gonna fucking hear anything about the next gen upgrade? I'm thinking maybe QuakeCon. Also, thanks for 11 likes on the stream, everybody. Appreciate that. Whoever dropped a like, brought us to 11. Yeah, I'm hoping maybe at QuakeCon. Is QuakeCon this weekend? QuakeCon 2023. Yeah, QuakeCon is this weekend, right? Which makes sense because there's supposed to be like a surprise Fallout 76 Double XP event this weekend because of it. It starts on the 10th, so it starts on Thursday and runs until the 13th, which is Sunday. And at QuakeCon, despite the name, you know, Quake, there's always other stuff there for other like Bethesda related games. Excuse me, such as like ESO or Fallout 76 has been there in the past, stuff like that. So I'm hoping that at that event they at least acknowledge something about the Fallout 4 next gen update. I can understand it not being a big enough thing to announce something about at the Summer Games Fest where they had all their major stuff. Like the big Starfield fucking showcase and everything like that. I can understand it not being considered big enough to bother really showing or, you know, updating people about on there. But I feel like QuakeCon being a much smaller event and being a much more like targeted event to their other stuff, I feel like it could be a solid place for them to announce an update about it. And, you know, even just to tell people like, hey, yeah, this is still coming, you know, this is more specifically what is going to be coming with it, doing like an announcement that's not just an article on their website for it, and then also telling people either a specific release date or tell them that it's going to be like, you know, a targeted release window. It's gotta be something, man. I mean, it's been like almost a year, bro, since they announced that. It was October of last year and it's August now, so a couple months from now it'll be a full year since they announced that update, and they've been completely radio silent about it since. Like, it's a little silly. And then of course they have their new big IP releasing next month, Starfield, and so that's going to overshadow everything else of theirs basically for a while. So I was really hoping the update would have been out by now and people would have been able to enjoy it for at least a couple months before Starfield came out. I think it would have made a lot more people pick the game up or go back to playing the game and kind of like prepare them for, hey, you know, this is great, and now we have Starfield to look forward to in a month or two as well. That's basically this, but in space. Guess they had other plans though. Sorry, I had a work call. What'd you say to those messages? No worries, man. No, I was just saying that, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about with the shields, and then I just started talking about like how funny the 1v1s were back then, and with the little dual arena thing they had, and how fucking janky all it was, and people using all the modded items, and how there was like GBs for it and stuff like that too. Yeah, it was quite something. To be honest, I think they will shadow drop and just tweet about it. I could see them shadow drop it. I mean, they shadow dropped the FPS and quality upgrades for Fallout 76 last month. Or not last month, in June. It was like early to mid-June. They did an update, just another, I don't know how big it was outside of this stuff. But they did an update for Fallout 76, and within that update, they shadow dropped the FPS upgrade and the quality upgrade for current-gen consoles. So if they're willing to do that for their continuously supported and arguably one of their main games, and the main game for Fallout currently, Fallout 76, if they're willing to shadow drop something like that, basically the same thing as the next-gen upgrade for Fallout 4 coming out for 76 though, then yeah, I think it's fair to assume they may very well shadow drop the Fallout 4 update as well. The only thing that would make it a little bit more weird for shadow dropping it on Fallout 4 is you don't have this huge amount of players, or as much as 76, I don't think, continuously playing 76 because they know that game is still in the midst of being supported. So if they shadow drop it for Fallout 4, well, yes, some people are going to notice that, hey, I have an update for Fallout 4, and then they play and they're like, hey, you know, it's got better FPS and better graphics now, and it'll get all over the internet as is or whatever, like it does. With or without an announcement from Bethesda about it on Twitter, for instance. I just feel like it would be a little weird, because for such an older game, I feel like would want to like do some kind of announcement for it prior, to like let everybody know that it is coming and to be ready for it, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It seems a little strange, but yeah, I could see it getting shadow dropped as well, you know, for sure. Alright, nothing good from that, unfortunately. All pretty poopy. BL2 is still an icon, just was too good to follow up on. Yeah, BL2 was amazing, man. BL2 was so fucking good. Was so good. I don't know if I just prefer an upgrade for free or a full-on remaster, even if I had to pay for the newer version again. If we're going to get a remaster of a Fallout game, I would prefer it be for the older games that it makes sense to release for, so Fallout 3 and or Fallout New Vegas. I feel like if we're going to do a remaster / remake, you gotta go for one of those two, if not both of them together. If we're just doing remasters, package those bitches together, bro, and release them like that. If we're gonna do like more of a remake, then maybe focus on one of them. I assume they'd probably want to do Fallout 3 because it released earlier and because it was done by them, not a different studio, in Obsidian, I mean. And yeah, if we're just doing a little free next-gen upgrade or whatever, like we know it's been announced already, then yeah, for Fallout 4, it makes more sense to do it for Fallout 4. Okay, DA, I gotta go. I have a work meeting. I'll see you later. Have a good day, everyone. Hey, Bryce, I appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Thank you very much, man. Have a good one. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. If we're gonna do a remaster, then do... You know, or if we're going to do a remaster or a remake, then do either Fallout 3 and or New Vegas. If we're just doing a super basic remaster, right? If we're doing a super basic remaster where we're just upping the graphics and we're upping the FPS and literally that's it. Maybe a couple minor quality of life things too. If that's all we're doing, then do them both. I don't know how hard it would be. But, you know, do them both and package it together if you can. And then give it some kind of Fallout-esque name, you know? And If we're doing like more of like a full-on remake, which I don't see being very realistic for any of the Fallout games, then I would say you could just focus on one of them. And again, I think it would be Fallout 3 because that's one that Bethesda Game Studios themselves did, whereas New Vegas was done by Obsidian. Also, Fallout 3 released first, so for both those reasons, I think they would want to do Fallout 3 rather than New Vegas. But again, I don't think a full-on remake would happen. I think a remaster is definitely the only realistic scenario out of those two. And I think they could do it for both. But again, I think it would happen for Fallout 3 first, or it would be more likely to happen to Fallout 3 if it was going to be either of them. And if we're just doing a free next-gen upgrade as we are, then I think Fallout 4 is the right way to go. It's more of it's still kind of a quote-unquote old game now, but it is more current of a game, a lot more current of a game, and known of a game and stuff like that in terms of people who played it versus 3 or New Vegas. So, and it just generally is probably easier and less costing for them to actually put that out. But make no mistake, I very much want a Fallout 3 and or New Vegas remaster. I have for very long, and I probably will always want them until they hopefully happen. I feel like it's sort of inevitable that they happen, to be honest. Might just be a while. What's up, Viper? Or again, rather, any Fallout gameplay today just to know how long I should stay up for? I definitely don't want to guarantee you or try to say any guarantee to you that I will be back on later with Fallout. I'm probably going to be hopping off this here pretty quick. I made some pretty solid progress in the past couple hours. I'm just finishing up this dungeon, and then I'm going to be hopping off for some time to get some other stuff done today outside of, you know, streaming. And then I might be back later on, and if I do get back on later today, then yes, it will be on Fallout for sure. But I cannot guarantee that I will be back on later today. That's the thing. So definitely do not stay up, you know, or stay available or anything like that on my account, please. Because I certainly do not want to give a false sense of security there about me getting back on stream later. But yeah, if I do happen to get on later, then it will be on Fallout. That I can say for certain. I just can't say for certain that I'll actually be on later. I wonder if they will port Fallout 4 onto the same engine Starfield is on. I don't think so. I don't think they're doing anything like that. I think they're just scaling things up because they have the new consoles with better hardware and stuff now that are more capable. I don't think they're messing with the engine or anything. I think that's a bit too much and has a lot more complexity to it and would require more of like another release or another version of the game to be released. Plus, if you were going to go through the effort to like bump up what engine the game is on, then I feel like it would be silly not to do a lot more with that. You know, just porting it over to the engine and then not making use of it at all and not switching things up, it, you know, would be kind of weird. It also could mess a lot of stuff up, I feel like. So yeah, no, I definitely don't think they're doing anything like that. Now, if they were doing like a full remaster or remake of one of the older games, then maybe they would do something if they had the ability to and they thought it was going to be worth it. But yeah, outside of that, no, I don't think so. Alright, Solvam right now, so I would miss it anyway. Okay, yeah, you probably would miss it, I think. I mean, I don't know how late you stay up or what your usual hours are. But yeah, I mean, it'd be like what? And it'd be a few hours out at least. So it'd be getting pretty late over there. Yeah, definitely don't stay up on my account. If you're tired and you're not, you know, gonna be up anyway, then definitely get some rest. But there will definitely be other times in the future where either like when I went live today, for instance, or you know the times when you've seen me on Fallout in the past couple days, when I will be live again during those times and playing Fallout. So no worries there. Other times will come when it's more suiting to you and your time zone. 10 p.m. for you? Gotcha. I would have never guessed when we were kids and I was watching your Fallout videos, and in 2023 I'd be lurking on my drive to a meeting listening to you talk to chat like a podcast. Oh god. I feel you. I feel you. That's how things like that go, man. That's how things like that go. I mean, how are you ever gonna guess or expect something like that to be the case, right? Okay. So, let me hit the blacksmith again. Nope. Bad. 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 We did get a Wrathful Heart, though. Caged Heart of the Malignant Pact. Gain 23% attack speed. Core and basic skills have an 18% chance to fully restore your primary resource. I think this is one that I need, to be honest. I don't think I have this one yet, and I think I need it. Because this definitely seems right up my alley for a rogue. So that's pretty sick. That's like one of the things I would be least expecting to be getting as a drop, because it's not just a random enemy that can drop anything like that. It's malignant specific. Yeah, I don't have one of those. Nice. This is my first one. I have 3 other different ones. And now I have this one, which I want to say I definitely need for this build. It seems like the 23% is always there, I guess, or maybe it's based on the item power. 18% chance, same deal. Every 18 seconds, gain a barrier absorbing 328 damage. That's more towards the lower end of the roll, but I mean, it's not going to make a big difference. I mean, 315 to 378, that's not really huge, honestly. That's kind of whatever. Cage Heart of Revenge. Incoming damage is instead suppressed. I don't know if I use this, but I do remember it's not bad, so I'll hold on to that just in case I end up needing it for the build. Okay, go for real this time. See you, Bryce. Thanks, man. And thanks to whoever else dropped a like on the stream. We're at 12 likes now. I appreciate that. Still mad to me, too. I was 16 when I was watching his Fallout how-tos. Now I'm 23, feeling old. Yeah, I get that. Yep, it's the same way for me, being the one to have like made those videos all those years ago, and to have so many people telling me stuff like that. Check items in here real quick. Nothing interesting. No. We can check jewelry real quick. So my obel's at 834 out of 1,000. No. It's okay. No. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. I don't know what it's... Oh, there we go. It was saying something was new. Alright, cool. So, we did get another... What? We got like another like level and then some. Or about a level. And then we completed a renown for Kyrgyzstan. Got our 4 Paragon. Hawazar, we're at 250 out of 500, meaning we're going to need to get... I think it's 600 for the last one. So we're going to need 750 more. We're going to definitely have to do the rest of these dungeons. And then we're definitely going to have to do some side quests as well, unfortunately. Which kind of sucks. But that's the last region we need done. So after that, we are good to go. And then we can just start slamming nightmare dungeons, I believe. There's not really going to be any reason to do normal dungeons after that. because we'll have everything done for Renown within them. We'll just want to slam Nightmare Dungeons for better XP, better drops, and yeah, all that good stuff. Cool. Cool. 13 likes now on the stream. Thank you guys. Appreciate. Fall Bug jumped onto a car insta-death and yeeted hundreds of feet into the sky. So glad. Quick save. Yeah, classic Fallout Bug. Yeah. There's some nutty stuff in Fallout, bro, for bugs like that. Yeah. Absolutely. It reminds me of like all the memes of like in GTA where you know, you literally just like trip on like a crack or something and you just and your guy's just dead. you bump into like a light post or something like that and you're just dead. Yeah, there's definitely some shit like that in Fallout 2. There's some funny stuff. Oh, 14 likes now. Goddamn. Thank you. I didn't even know there was that many different people still around that hadn't dropped a like on the stream yet. I appreciate that. But yeah, so it's been 2.5 hours now, guys, that I've been streaming, checking out the new Diablo update, getting some solid progress in. I think I'm going to call it for now. Get some other stuff done, do some stuff generally off stream, and I might be back on later. If I am on later, it will be for some Fallout 76 action. If I'm not back on later, then of course I'll be live again tomorrow, Wednesday, and with some Fallout 76, I assume. So yeah, you just brought back a memory of when GTA 5, when you walked into the gate and launched into the sky. Hell yeah. Okay. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this stream though. Thank you to everybody that stopped by. Thank you for the 14 people that dropped a like on the stream. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. If you guys do happen to see me live again later on, then feel free to stop in. If not, I'll be live tomorrow. And of course, I hope to see some of you guys in either one. So thanks for watching again, everybody, and hanging out. And peace.